You're listening to the Low Pressure Podcast, the podcast for skiers.
Presented by CMH Heli Skiing and Peak Performance.
Action.
Yeah, we did it.
We're done.
We did it. Finally. It only took a couple hours.
Fair enough.
Whatever.
We've had a long weekend.
Oh my god, dude. It's been a long weekend. IF3. This is the day after the IF3 awards. You can probably hear it in my voice.
Yeah, Mark's been yapping all weekend.
I'm kind of bummed that your voice isn't messed up either.
Sometimes my voice, I don't know, it's like touch and go. It's usually when I least expect it. I was at Powder Awards a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And fully lost my voice, like before the actual awards even.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I had to go up and talk on stage and was just like couldn't even fucking
Maybe
speak.
because you're a soft-spoken guy. You're not like me that goes out of his way to start yapping.
Yeah, like, I don't even yell. I usually people just don't hear me and accept
Yeah,
it.
just hear this look and smile. Yeah, like I was telling you before, if I'm in like a loud environment and I'm talking to someone, I try to like talk over the music rather than just get closer and speak into their ear. I try to yell. Oh man.
Well, no one likes being spat on either too close.
No, yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah,
there's no good way to yell at a bar.
No. I used to would just plug my ear and go near them.
Yeah.
Or like cover their ear or something like that. And then it's been a long weekend. We had the 4 nights, the live thing up with the Blondes. You were on a live show too, weren't you?
Yeah, I did the live during the Big Mountain show. It was with Cody was hosting that one. We had a good little convo. I wasn't super prepared for it, and I kind of botched it a bit.
Oh, really? But how?
I was just scattered. I kept on being all sporadic in my explanations on things.
Yeah, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, people actually still watch those. Hey, they're on the IF3 webpage. You can watch the Big Mountain event, the all girls event.
Nice. Man, check
there's an urban event too. And then this week we had the all girls show on Thursday night, and then we had the snowboarding night, and then yesterday we did a couple matinees, and then the awards. Congratulations to you, man.
Thanks, Mark.
Skier of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what is it? What's the actual award called? Best Standout Male Performance?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. So
Honored.
Jeff Schmuck runs the program. You know, he kind of sets the award show up and does all that stuff. And I set up the room and did all that kind of stuff. But he writes like a script, like a full long script, and does all that kind of stuff. And
for what? For
awards and all that kind of stuff. So I just kind of look at it.
Oh, like when he's accepting his
just
award?
or just like this like when I'm on stage.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Reading his script, and it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'll just get the gist and go through. But don't really prepare as well as I kind of should.
Oh, that's like before. Is it at the awards you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm a little scattered right now.
I'm scattered too.
This is gonna be a long podcast, everybody.
It's been a long weekend.
Just
so many drinks.
Super disjointed or discombobulated. But yeah, like I didn't really prepare as well as I had wanted to.
Right.
Or I should have, out of respect for him. Mm-hmm. But we've done it so many times that I was like running around trying to get the room sorted and making sure there's enough things and like, why are the lights on and all that kind of stuff. Then just kind of wing it.
Nice.
But then,
I feel like that's the way.
But it is kind of loose,
It's hard to follow a script sometimes.
You know Derek Foos?
Yep.
Yeah, you know Foos. Mm-hmm. So Foos, when he came up on the stage to announce his award for Peak Performance, he goes and whispers in my ear and he's like, I didn't really know how this was gonna go. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, it's a lot more loose than I expected, and I really appreciate that. I was like, all right. And I was like, what, me? He's like, yeah, you guys are loose up here. I'm like, all right, sweet. I thought it was going to be all like tight and regimented and stuff. And I was like, no.
Derek's a natural on the mic.
He's so good.
Announce the tour this year. He kills it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so smooth. Doesn't really miss a beat.
No, when he did his first event, like the first time he did it, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, like just natural. You're right, super natural. Him and Neil. I was having this conversation with someone the other day. Neil's the other guy, the Kiwi guy.
Yeah, Kiwi.
Who's like really, really good at it as well because he's been on the tour for so long and he knows everybody that's on the tour and he's competed and he knows like.
He competed on the tour?
I believe so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I believe so. Back in the day, and he knows like each cliff is named after the guy or the girl who opened up that cliff. So he's like, there's the Ivan Malakoff cliff, or there's the whatever, right? So he knows all that history, and then Foose, he's just a good color man. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he's just.
It's just and then he's just a beauty.
Got energy.
He was on the show with the Bathgates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
When they were young too, early on.
That's funny that they all did it together.
Yeah, well, they were teenagers, I think, and he's just like I just heard their names. I'm like, oh, the two twins. Like they are on the same time that you guys did that IFSA event on Blackcomb.
Yeah,
like on like Diamond Bowl.
Yeah,
I think it was around the same time as that.
Nice.
This dog.
Yeah, I've known the boys for a long time. Those Bathgates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ever since doing ski comps, we'd link up back then. And then when I lived in Whistler, we were pretty tight, and I don't see as much of them anymore. But mad respect for both those guys. They both shred so hard.
Is Jackson on the tour coming up this year? Did he qualify? Cooper did.
Yeah.
Jackson's got a back issue or something, doesn't he?
He's working on an injury. But he's maybe shoulder.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know he's been injured back and forth a lot lately. But he's also got a sled, so he's been like hitting the sled so hard. Like,
yeah, it's hard to sleds are fun.
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't know if I'm going to do any of that stuff anymore. So how long has it been since you were here last time?
Last time I think it was 2019 when I came last.
Was it?
Yeah, so 3 years ago.
Was it after the IF3 or the year after that?
It was the year of IF3 the winter time after I won Discovery of the Year. Right when I kind of stepped on the scene.
Discovery of the Year to multiple Skier of the Years.
Yeah.
Have you won one every year since?
Didn't win anything last year.
Who won them last year? I don't remember.
I think Harlow. For what was his movie called?
That's right, his two-year program.
Yeah, Salute.
Yeah, that's right. Were you choked? You got a taste of success.
It wasn't my best work last year.
No, why? You figure it's like your sophomore slump?
Maybe.
Yeah,
you could call it that.
Right? Like in hockey, that happens a lot. The rookie will come out and they're like, fuck yeah, let's go. I'm in the NHL. And they'll crush the league. And then next year, they're like, I got money. I'm a pro. And maybe I don't know what it is. But a lot of time, there's that sophomore slump.
Yeah, that could have been it. I just feel like I didn't hit it as hard as I could have. I was out here quite a bit in Whistler. That was good. I didn't get any like big lines or anything. It was just like a lot of like, when I look back on my segment, just so many 360s. But this year, I'm super proud of. Yeah. Like I think I've done my best work this year as far as skiing goes and progressed like crazy. And like kind of got into some bigger lines, which is good. Like spent a lot of time. Pretty much everything I filmed this year was filmed like probably like an hour from my house.
Really?
Yeah, which is really great. It's kind of fun being, I was like matched with the whole COVID energy. But yeah, it's great being home.
It's amazing. We've talked about it a bunch. Is like all of the local people skiing their local zones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like kind of like the essence of the MSP movie Stomping Grounds.
Right.
Yeah.
Like and then like Tales of Cascadia, the blank movie, which won Film of the Year.
Yeah.
Which was pretty awesome for Jeffy and that crew.
Totally, yeah. I'm stoked for those boys.
Right? And then
they earned it for sure.
Yeah, it was a good time, man. Like I'm glad we were able to do that full event. Like so people listening, IF3 is almost always in Montreal. I don't know if we told the story the last time, but when we were in Montreal when you won your Breakout of the Year award. I love telling the story. Schmuck calls you up on speakerphone. Speakerphone. And you're like, Sam Kuch. He's like, Jeff Schmuck. You're like, hey Jeff, what's going on? He's like, hey, we won. You're gonna win an award. We want to get you to come out to Montreal. And you're like, all right, cool. When does the plane leave? And everyone's like, wow.
Everyone laughed in the background.
Yeah, we're like, we're gonna send the IF3 plane.
It's like, oh, I swear there's money in this industry.
Yeah, right. And then I was telling someone about the metal show earlier.
Oh yeah.
We probably told it the last time. We'll tell it again. But like there's this. So at IF3 they booked like a Metallica cover band, and it was like. Remember how good they were? It was like you close your eyes.
Metallica band was sick.
And it was like you're listening to the CD. It was like perfect.
It was the opener.
But yeah, I didn't know they had an opening act.
The stage.
So they had an opening act, which was like thrash, like death thrash.
Yeah, it was like these local
grindcore metal. It was like just so offensive.
Yeah.
I dig that kind of shit though. I was down with it.
Yeah.
But every single other person. So the whole venue left.
It probably took like 30 seconds for the entire venue to be cleared.
Because everyone thought that was the band, and they're like, what is this, right? Like a bunch of hip-hop head kids, right? Everybody left. And so eventually, it was in the pool. There was like this indoor pool was the venue. And like we were standing on the pool, the bottom of the pool, like the deep end. And then the band had a stage set up and went into the pool. And it was like half a dozen of their friends.
An empty pool, by the way.
Empty pool, yeah. Half a dozen of their friends. And like you, me, and Schmuck, standing side by side watching the entire show,
eating snooze and
it was
watching
awesome.
the band.
Oh man,
yeah.
And this IF3, so this IF3 is in Whistler this year due to COVID and everything. Like we did it online last year, and then we added the online shows this year, which are really really cool. Like you said, you did that. Cody and Amy Jane, David hosted one. The Blondes hosted one. There's a lot of different appearances from a lot of rad people, which you can go back and watch those.
Yeah, I thought the IF3 program this year was sweet. Like moving to Whistler was a good move for you guys, and then having all those online shows was great too.
I kind of was like, I told them, I was like, let's bring it to Whistler, man.
Yeah,
like this is where people are right now. Montreal's fucking awesome, and I'm sure we'll end up doing there again. But I think it was getting a little stale. Yeah,
I think there's, for like all the videos that have come out in this past few years, like. It's a lot of backcountry, and I don't think anyone there is really interested in that.
No,
kind
it's
of
a
shit.
lot. Yeah, it's a lot of urban stuff. Like they got a super rad scene there.
Yeah, definitely.
And I wouldn't say we're bringing the it here, but we're bringing the awards here this time.
Yeah,
right, which was fun to kind of organize and put on, and we had some big turnouts, man.
Yeah, it was a good turnout for sure.
It's basically a good. IF3 gives me a reason to throw a party for all our friends.
Yeah,
like, it was fun, man.
Yeah, it was that bar at what's that bar called? Bill's?
Yeah, Bill's. Yeah, Buffalo Bills.
It was awesome.
Last night, a little more space than Garfinkel's the last few nights.
Yeah, happy to be out of Garfinkel's for a night.
Yeah. So if you guys
are
are
limited to like twice a year.
If you guys are wondering, there's still like COVID rules in effect. So everybody that goes into the venues and goes to the show, all are double vaxxed, and everybody's got to show their vax passport, and they got to show their ID. And I don't personally have a problem with that. And then because it's a private party, we can actually hang out in the back. They draw the blinds, and we don't actually have to sit at a table the whole time.
Yeah, it was great. Felt like
it was
like a little touch of normalness.
Right. And let me ask you this. So it's been a big week, right? I've seen you out every night. But then you also were in the States for, 2 weeks on a film tour?
Yeah, I was following the MSP Stomping Grounds tour.
So has it been like 2 weeks of just getting after it?
Yeah, it's been like basically a month.
Are you ready for... I was talking to Janelle last night about the same thing. She's like, I'm ready for a break.
Oh yeah, so much. Like this morning I woke up and was like, hey, I'm taking time off. I can't party anymore. Yeah. It's been so, like, I like to party. I'm pretty good at it. Stay up, and I'm still young.
Yeah.
But I'm getting worn out. And this is like the time of year where it's like you got to be tapping in, starting to work out and get fit. But I'm just doing like directly the opposite. Just drinking so much beer.
Your biceps are getting strong.
Just
tipping beers back.
Yeah, but just eating road trip food and fucking drinking so much beer.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your program? Do you have a workout program?
Yeah, I go to SPT, Sasquatch Performance Training. It's a little workout program in Nelson, and it's a cool story actually. The guy who runs it, his name is Ed Natashak, and he used to run a gym in Nelson. It was like pretty successful, and then mountain biking one day he paralyzed himself.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's a quadriplegic, still can use his hands a little bit, so he rolls around in a chair.
Incomplete quad, I guess.
Yeah, incomplete quad. Yeah, so he doesn't have full motion in his hands, but he's able to roll around. And he runs his gym now out of his garage. So just 4 squares, and it's like high intensity interval training. So like 40 minutes of like three rounds of a bunch of different sets of workouts. And it's like fast paced and lots of body weight. And then
kind of like a CrossFit sort of stuff.
Kind of like CrossFit, but not pushing heavy weights at all.
Oh, okay.
Like it's more like you can level up if you want as far as the weight goes, but like he really stresses like doing like lifting them the right way, and like before the program, like we do like a little run through of it all, and you make sure everyone's doing it just right to actually work your muscles properly.
Yeah.
And it's intense. Like after the 40 minutes, I'm like fully floored.
Oh really?
Yeah. And you get fit really quick. Like,
is that just because you party all the time and your body's not used to it?
No, it's like I said, I'm still a little bit fit.
Well, that's kind of what the fall is for, though, right? Like it's tour season.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also time where I should be like tuning my body.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I signed up for like a personal trainer program for like the next month that combines like body alignment and like through massage and like body movement and then workouts, that kind of thing. And I had started it, and then the last like week and a half for IF3 and the podcast, I just told them like, hey, we're gonna have to restart.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to restart afterwards, because I'm like quite a bit older and my body's not working as much.
Yeah, it starts to not metabolize.
And spending since I'm not working restaurants anymore either. I'm not walking 10 kilometers a night either. Mm-hmm. My legs feel a little more rested, but
yeah,
I'm getting a little. I'm a thin dude, but I have like I'm the fattest I've ever been. Like I got a little. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, you're 40. Dad bods are in.
God. Yeah, I hope so. Hey, ladies, you like a dad bod? I never got that.
Mark's looking for his soulmate right now.
Yeah. Funny thing is, though, I'm probably gonna steal it. I have a whole carton full in the back, whole box full in the back.
Nice.
Stolen souls.
Of course.
Ginger life, man. So what are we gonna talk about? We already talked for like 2 hours while we were setting up.
Yeah. Well, you want to know what I did this summer?
Absolutely.
I had a pretty busy one I was firefighting.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, forest firefighting, and just turned out to be never done it before. It's kind of like a classic thing to do if you're a kid from Nelson. Like lots of my buddies did it growing up, and I never really thought to do it. I was just like into working construction the summers.
Weren't you roofing or something?
I roofed a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then quit that. That one's pretty draining, that job.
That's brutal, man.
Yeah.
In the sun all day, lifting heavy shit, bending over.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's probably why I stayed fit through my whole teen years, just roofing, like working roofing. Mm-hmm. But then I started working for my old man. He runs a contracting company, builds houses. So I was working for him the past few summers, and then I was working for him a little bit in the springtime here. And then, I got the offer to get onto the ministry for firefighting for the government. And it's kind of a sought-after job, especially in Nelson, because it's like such a desirable place to live, and the base is right in Nelson.
That specific crew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got linked onto that, just a last-minute thing, because a guy left, and then they needed somebody. My sister works at the same base, mm-hmm. So she kind of like got me in there.
She's in the fire as well, brigade as well?
Yeah.
So you're like walking the fire line with her out in the woods?
Yeah, I was on a different crew. We run like packs of 3.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on initial attack, which is like we go in our pack of 3, and if someone reports fire or smoke or something, then we're the first ones to go out there and hopefully get it before it gets too big. Yeah. And then once it gets big, then you call in more like unit crews.
So what are you doing? Like just seeing, hey, can we put this fire out? Or are you creating like a fire line? Or are you cutting logs down? Like, I'm sure it's different all over the
it depends on the fire. But with IA, normally we're just like, our biggest focus is getting water to the fire. Mm-hmm. So like we'd usually fly out in a helicopter. That's usually the quickest way to get there, unless there's Forest Service roads or something where we can take the truck. But we have one truck that has like a tank of water that we can use if we need. But otherwise we like fly with a pump, a bunch of hose, all that, and then fly out, kind of assess the scene, see if there's a creek nearby that has water flowing, and if there is, like convenient, and then we can drop it down, usually like long line all the stuff in, like the pump and everything, and then run that to the fire. And then once we have water on the fire, we pretty much won, as long as it's not too big.
How long does that take to set up? Like say you get a lightning strike, like a dry lightning strike or something, you got like one tree that's in flames.
Yeah.
And it's just starting to spread to like other stuff. And you're like, okay, we just got the call. Someone hit star 5555, mm-hmm. That's the number, right?
I think so. I don't even know the number.
Yeah. That's the number. It's star 5555 if you're in BC for like wildfire reporting.
Yeah, it's good. Good to know.
And then so like, all right, let's go. Like, are you usually hanging out on base, or do you have something to do, or do you have like a beeper?
Just cell phones. Like if we know when we're on standby, mm-hmm. When we're on standby, then we have to be basically boots on, like ready to like driving towards the fire within a half hour. Mm-hmm. So like we can be at home on standby, and like this year I was on like 24 hour or not 24 hours, but like max standby basically, which is from like midnight till. Like I only have like midnight till like 7 a.m. off.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I was standby the whole time, but like chilling at home. But so if you get the call while you're on standby, then you have to be at base in a half hour, which like gives you enough freedom.
And then how long does it take to assess how severe that hot spot is? You just call them hot spots? What do you call that? Like what would you call that? We got something happening. What would you call it?
Call it a fire. Incident. Technically an incident, I guess.
An incident with a fire. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? If there's something that isn't like a big fire you might be able to put out, I thought there might be like a term for it or something.
Yeah, none that I know of.
Anyway, so
there's different classes of fire.
Yeah.
So like my crew leader, if he was in the front seat of the heli, then like we'd fly around and he'd do like a what's it called? Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Brain is scrambled eggs.
It's a big night. It's a big night, right?
But basically, there's a slip of paper and basically assess the fire, like explain the fire, like how big it is, and then there's all these like different codes that you talk about on the radio, and then at the fire base they take that all down and just for the records.
All right, so to get to that point I've been trying to make for like 5 minutes is so when you say you've got your spot, in order to get the long line in the thing, and like, is it like, okay, we got to rush? Like, how long does it take to get all that stuff in place?
So it's different for every fire, but yeah, it's like, in all the times I've done it, like obviously there's that feeling of rush the whole time and everyone's trying to work as fast as they can, but like, yeah, normally like fire does spread fast, but like in my experience, like you can kind of chill a bit. Not that we're chilling.
you could be calm.
Yeah, you can be calm. It's way better if you're calm, because
calm and methodical, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if everyone's all sporadic, then
this year was like the craziest fire year ever for BC, right?
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that there is such a, like you said, it might just be that base, but I know they're probably always looking for people. I'm sure the budget's going to go up every year.
Yeah, I think in the next few years probably need more firefighters.
That famous line that's been going around is this is the hottest year ever recorded, and it's also probably the coldest summer for the rest of your life or something. Do you know what I mean?
True.
It's getting scary.
Kind of spooky, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'll see. I feel like the trend is going to be like California is going to start looking like Texas in the next little while, and then BC is going to start looking like California and burning like California is right now.
Ugh, that sucks.
Everyone's going to be migrating north.
And then you get a fall like we have right now. What do they call this? Like a rain bomb?
I don't know.
Is that what they're calling it? They just
probably know better when you're on the coast.
Yeah, they just recorded the lowest pressure ever, like one of the lowest pressures, like atmospheric pressures ever.
Yeah, apparently right now there's a record-breaking storm rolling into the coast.
Yeah, I think they were calling
like Vancouver's gonna get
rain bomb or something like that. Man, it's just going weird with that crazy heat dome. They come up with cool names for it though.
Heat dome, rain bomb. You gotta keep everyone.
But yeah, they recorded like the lowest pressure off like ever, and we've had tons of rain this fall.
Yeah, well, I was just up high. I was up skiing the other day.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, this is great.
That's what I did initially. When
between the two of us, we're gonna find enough things to talk about.
Yeah,
sorry, let's get to that in a second. Let's finish with the fire stuff.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. Like, were you like all day, every day? Like, were you like full on?
Yeah, pretty much. There's especially right after that heat wave, we got a lightning storm, just like classic, and so there's like 40-degree weather in the Kootenays. And
which is insane, by the way. Insane. It's like absolutely insane.
Yeah, so uncomfortable and dry. And then sure enough, dry lightning storm a couple days later. And my crew was first up on standby, so like if there's a fire, we were going to be the first ones to get called. And like basically for like 2 weeks didn't go home at all. Like was just like bouncing around, like whether we pretty much camped in the bush like every night. And we'd get off of a fire and like think that we're gonna go home, and then it'd be like 11 p.m. and get another call like that, like across our zone there's another like a grass fire and stuff like that. And like one day we even fought 3 fires in one day.
Jeez. So do you have how do the hours work? Is it like a salaried thing, or is it all hourly and then you get like overtime and then double overtime? And
so
you're probably banking some good cash this summer.
Yeah, I got paid really well.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. And I just stuck around for like the heat of the summer. Like came in late, basically in June, and then like day 3 on the job, like started fighting fires.
Wow,
it was crazy because I'd never done it, but like didn't go through boot camp or anything.
You didn't?
No.
They're just like, what size are you? Large?
Yeah,
all right, here you go. Go follow that guy.
I didn't even have the right size clothes for me. My pants were all baggy.
For real?
Yeah.
So you didn't know what you were doing? No techniques or anything like that?
No,
like fire safety? Did they give you any like fire safety?
We did a bit. We did a bit of that, but it was basically trial by fire.
Training on the job.
Yeah, it was great. I caught on pretty quick.
Were you fired up about that job?
Fuck, I don't have another pun. Right. I'll think of one in a minute. Yeah, it was great. I had a good summer. It was fun, and it was so smoky in the like I never felt like I was missing out.
Yeah.
On life.
Your interest was heating up. Sorry. Well, that's cool, man. Are you gonna do it again next year? You think?
Maybe. I have the opportunity if I want.
Yeah.
My spot's there still.
Janelle does that too for the blondes, right?
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Did you talk to her about it? Get some advice. She's been doing it for a while, though.
Yeah, she's been doing it for a while. Yeah, she's like running the chainsaw. The chainsaw's probably like about as big as her.
Yeah, they're massive, eh? With the big, like 6 foot bar.
Mm-hmm. She's on a different style crew though. She's on a unit crew, so those crews are when there's a big fire, like those ones like that are like threatening towns and stuff.
They create like the fire lane kind of.
Yeah,
thing?
they're just like bigger crews, and they basically spend like 2 weeks at a time on a fire, just those mega fires, and kind of just like pick off little parts of the fire as they go. Just
kind of assess, what the terrain is going to do, where they think the look at, I guess, everything. Look at the weather.
Yeah.
Where do we think the wind is going to blow this fire? Where do we think this terrain is going to let this fire migrate to? And then they have to. Is it a fire break? That's what it's called. Fire break, right?
Like a guard.
A guard, yeah, where they basically like will clear like a 2 or 3 meter wide.
Yeah.
Path through the woods.
Yeah, you usually do that with chainsaws, and then you could use like a Pulaski and dig a guard. I did that this summer. It was fucking tough. It's exhausting. Yeah, just running the Pulaski like all day. Pulaski's like, it's basically like an axe, but the other side has like a shovel kind of. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're able to
like pickaxe.
Yeah, basically like a pickaxe, but more flat. So like you can move dirt with it.
Yeah.
And you can like dig really efficiently with it.
So you're probably pretty strong then.
Yeah,
unless you completely ruined it with a month
I think I ruined it, man.
Heavy party.
Yeah, hamburgers and beer.
Yeah, that's the easiest thing to order, right?
Yeah.
And it's cheap usually.
Yeah, exactly. On the road all the time.
Yeah. Do you like going down to those places?
Yeah.
Do you like those tours?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's so fun. Especially like I've only gone on 2 because I'm still pretty fresh on the scene.
Right.
But
it seems like you've been around forever though. You've accomplished so much.
Yeah, it's been a good couple of years. But I do love going down. Those premieres are super fun. And like both years they've been in, the world premiere has been in Crested Butte. Mm-hmm. And that's where MSP is based out of, and they usually set us up there for like a week, and we go mountain biking and get to know like I've got like friends down there now because we get to know all the locals, and Crested Butte's a really cool town. Yeah, I could probably, if I had to live in the States, probably live there.
Really? Mm-hmm. Just because of does it remind you like a little bit like Nelson, kind of same sort of vibe?
Yeah, big time. super similar vibe. And I'm not really like a city guy that much, but yeah, Crested Butte's got like everything I would need.
Have you skied there?
Nope. No, haven't been in the winter.
That might change your mind.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know. Don't Crested Butte folks don't get mad at me because I've never been there, so I don't know.
Anyone that I've talked to down there said that it's been pretty rough these past few years for snow.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks everywhere.
I wouldn't know.
So let's get to the skiing. You went skiing last week.
Yeah.
So we had
we'll talk about a place that gets
Cole
a lot of snow.
No, Cole wasn't with you guys.
Cole wasn't with me. It was Tatum, Hoji.
Yeah.
Christine Felecki. She's like
a guide.
Yeah, she's a split board guide. I think first split board guide in Canada or something. First female split board guide.
So that's impressive because I know there's for some of the older like ski ops trainers and course instructors. I know there's a bit of a bias, or there has been in the past, towards snowboarders specifically. Mm-hmm. I did my level ops 1 course in like 2004. And there was a dude that was working patrol for Big White that was on that course. He's a snowboarder, and they failed him.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think they should have. Like, we were all kind of studied together. I could have been wrong, maybe not, but like, he was choked. We were out in a fly-in lodge.
Oh, wow.
He was so choked.
Yeah, I wonder what.
But to the point, before our scrambled brains get us off point, that's really cool. Mm-hmm. Really cool.
And she, as far as like she did not fall behind with her snowboard. Like she was swapping over skins, like transitioning into touring mode like way faster than I was, and I was on skis. So yeah, she totally justifies it.
Do you have any snowboard buds like back at Nelson that keep up with the crew?
Yeah.
There's always like
I love riding with boarders.
There's always that handful of dudes that just keep up. There's no nonsense with them. Like I can think of like a half a dozen here that we've skied with a bunch, and you get to a zone that then they ski with skiers, so skiers are gonna get to zones that you'll never see snowboarders at. just because it's such a pain in the ass to like boot pack or
Yeah,
side
especially
slip
on the resort.
But there's always that handful of dudes that keep up, and you get to a spot and then they're boom way ahead of you because they know they have to be.
Yeah.
You've got a few of those.
Yeah, Whitewater's such a great snowboard mountain too. Like, there's not a lot of traversing you have to do. Like, it's pretty small. Whitewater's Nelson's local hill, and there's like not really anywhere that you have to pull your board off or anything. So snowboarders are keeping up all the time.
Sweet.
Yeah, but don't come there.
All right, so let's get back to it. So last week you went skiing.
Yeah.
It was probably the best ski content of the new early season, I think.
Best days of the season for sure.
Yeah. So it was an Arcteryx shoot, right?
Yeah, we were shooting just for like a holiday campaign, some of the new gear that's coming out. And I was expecting we just go up there and pretend to be touring around and skiing, but it turns out there's like 240 centimeters up there. And
240 centimeter base. Where did you fly to?
We bounced around quite a bit. We're just looking for the right spots and nice views, but we were up Rhododendron first day, and then went over to the Rutherford Glacier, and then went to Meager, which is like outside of Pemberton. Yeah, and I heard there's bad juju in those mountains.
Yeah,
always moving.
Yeah, so there was a massive slide.
Yeah, we flew over that
a bunch of years ago, and I think it wiped out the hot springs, or it wiped out access to the hot springs. And apparently that whole mountain is just on like eggshells.
Yeah, well, our guide was saying it moves like a centimeter a month or something. So that's a lot.
Yeah, it's not the safest place to be.
No,
like it's something. It's weird. It's like a mountain that's like built like a house of cards. I think that's kind of the best analogy for that. So yeah, a little spooky.
Yeah, you can tell it's all crumbly. Like there's all these little rock spires and hoodoos and stuff. It's pretty beautiful up there. But it's definitely like you feel the energy up there when you like we landed in the helicopter. It kind of just feels spooky
because they told you about it before.
Yeah, probably. Probably knew it. Maybe I wouldn't if I didn't know that.
Right.
Yeah, but also we're like super touchy around glaciers because like this time of year on the glacier, it snows enough that there's bridges that cover up the crevasses, but not enough that it can hold up a person.
Did you have all your harnesses and gear and shit?
Yeah, we were rocking harnesses and we weren't like roping up to each other or anything, but we just had probes out and we were just probing everywhere we were walking.
That's spooky.
But we had guides with us and they were great.
Still though,
I find sometimes that when I'm with a guide, I kind of become complacent. Like I let my guard down because I put myself in their hands, and I feel like that can be a cause for some issues.
Right. Even
I'm trying to talk myself out of that.
Especially if like you just met this person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think as like group mentality goes like that, like you have one obvious leader, and then everyone kind of chills out. Yeah. Which maybe isn't necessarily the right move.
All right, so you started. So you guys were throwing.
I commend all the guides.
Yeah, you guys were throwing like you found a natural wind lip, and we were throwing. Like,
we found a jump. I think Hoji was flying in the helicopter before me because we were bumping back and forth because we had quite a big crew, and I think he spotted it out and he's like, "Oh, let's hang out here." And then I landed, and like as soon as I landed, it's funny. I was looked out the window of the heli, and Hoji was just like with his hand, like making this.
He was showing
like,
you.
Yeah, he's like, "This is a jump." Like, fucking right.
It looked a lot like the wind lip up on Blackcomb.
Yeah, that's what everyone was saying. Yeah, people actually thought it was the wind lip on Blackcomb. I was getting DMs about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like the same kind of thing. Just flatten out a little ramp, just stomp out a ramp or something.
Yeah, it was cool. I want to go back. It was up the Rutherford.
Did you throw a double off of it?
No, I didn't. Probably would have, but it was like right in the evening when we got there, and we had to land at like 5:30, like skids down for the heli, so we were a bit cramped on time.
Throwing backflips in the sunset.
Yeah, Hoji did a backflip. Tatum
did a super smooth giant backflip.
Yeah, Tatum stomped a backflip, and it was like her last backflip of her 20s because she turned 30 the other day.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how she talked herself into it. It was epic. She stomped it.
Yeah, a little something there.
Boogers?
Maybe. I don't know. Could be something. This is a loose podcast for you folks here. I was just looking. I'm like, hey, just wipe your nose, just in case, because it's filmed. Yeah. So right, you can watch the first half an hour. I don't think it's anything. I thought it might have been hair or something.
Maybe. I'm a slob.
I don't think so. You're not a slob. Well, that's cool. It must have been good to be on your skis.
Yeah, it was great.
Did you feel then back to like the drinking and partying and not working out yet? Did you feel that you were ready yet?
Yeah, we were touring around quite a bit.
No, like physically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was feeling pretty fit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I still have fast metabolism.
Yeah, right. Whatever. You're an athlete, man.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself an athlete? Have you thought about like that?
Yeah, I think I'm athletic.
Yeah. Because we were talking about like sports and stuff. Like a lot of people in like athletes, like hockey player, baseball player. Well, baseball players are athletes too, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Skiers are athletes.
Skiers are for sure athletes.
But have you ever really thought of yourself like, I'm an athlete? Like, obviously there's a word attached to it, but there's like the meaning behind it. Does that mean anything to you? Do you ever spend time thinking about that?
I do an athletic sport professionally, and then at the same time, like I train for it, and then in the off season, ride mountain bikes and paraglide. I've been doing that recently. And
yeah, you were telling me about that before.
Quite athletic, especially if I'm hiking and flying.
Do you know Kate Zelliff?
Yep.
Yeah. Have you ever flown with her? I know she's getting into it.
No, I haven't. I think we started around the same time, but obviously haven't been to the States for a while.
Have you been to Pemby to fly here?
No, not yet. But I know a couple people from Pemby that
Austin Ross and like Turpin I was mentioning before, and there's a handful of others.
Yeah, Pemby's kind of a mecca for flying in Canada. It's still pretty small time though in Canada, that sport. Like not a lot of people do that. It's a kind of a hard place to do it. It's not like Europe where like every hill is grassy, like a nice grassy hill.
Just run
all the valley bottoms. Yeah, it's like riding mountain bikes there. It's like so popular, paragliding.
How'd you get into that? I don't remember.
COVID started, 2 Marches ago, and then I was home.
You got into it through COVID?
Yeah, I did.
Not before?
COVID. Not before, no.
Oh, okay, cool. Then we haven't talked about this yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Continuing on with this
Lots changed, Mark.
Super loose podcast.
Yeah, when did I start? It was during COVID. I was in lockdown for the first 2 weeks there, and was just kind of watching YouTube, getting inspired, and yeah, came across some paragliding videos.
Can't get any more isolated than that.
Yeah, and I had a toothache during the whole time. That's another story for another time. But
how does the toothache fit into the paragliding thing?
It has nothing to do with paragliding, really.
Oh, you just remembered that you had a toothache while you were looking at.
I was just thinking back on lockdown, and I was like, got the worst fucking toothache of my life. Like one of my wisdom teeth were growing in, and somehow it got infected. And like I was calling my dentist, like asking if I could go in and get it pulled, and he's like, "Well, if you're not dying, I can't help you." There's like so much pain in my mouth, and it swelled up. Yeah, I got all huge.
Did you get them like taken out eventually?
No,
they're still in there.
Yeah, they're still in there. They're fine now.
Until they're not.
Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, we're going off topic here. I watched paragliding videos, got super inspired, and was like, figured why not? Had some extra money laying around, and I got into it.
What does like a starter rig cost?
The rig, I don't know, like a wing would be like $2,000, $2,500. Yeah, and then harness.
That includes all the ropes and shit. Like they're not separate. Like you don't have to buy a wing and then you got to buy the rigging and all that stuff.
No, that's all rigged up. That's like really meticulous how that's all rigged up. So like that's all done in the factory. Because if something's a little bit out of line, then it'll really mess with like how the wing flies. So I don't know. All in, like with training, like with the school that I took, which took all summer, and my rig, and I got like a used harness and a used reserve parachute. It all cost me like $6,500
for a new sport. And
it's flying.
Yeah, you get to fly.
Like truly flying.
So did you have to take like lessons or whatever?
I took lessons.
You have to be strapped into a dude for the first few times, right?
Just once. He just like the teacher. I did it through Kootenai Paragliding. Jay Lois is the owner of that, and he's like really talented, kind of like laid back hippie dude from the Kootenays, but
shocker.
Really good paraglider and just a great guy.
Yeah.
And he just recommends that you do a tandem flight to start, just to make sure you like it, so you don't. So some people get like motion sickness. So turns out they're afraid of heights.
You're gonna go out on your own. Like people just go and do it without knowing what the fuck they're doing.
You can. There's no laws around. Like it's not a powered aircraft.
Do you have to learn about like winds and updrafts and all this kind of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's why he like takes you out before you commit to doing the course. Takes you out for a tandem just to make sure you like it, because some people probably change their mind once they fly for the first time, and you don't want to do that once you're all committed.
You basically you just strap to a guy's chest like you're in one of those baby Bjorn little
No,
baby
dude, it's
carriers.
comfy. Like paragliding harnesses, it's not like base jumping where you're just like hanging from a tiny little harness. It's like these are like basically like lazy boys in the sky.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually like really comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, dude. Yeah, the tandem's kind of funny. Like you're kind of between his legs in a smaller little harness.
And he's right behind you, whispering in your
Yeah.
ear.
Yeah. So I did the first flight, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna do this."
Yeah.
And then I spent the summer doing the course.
And so how long is the course?
So
So you do have to do a course.
You
do have to do a course in order to get
I wanted
certified
to do the
fly?
course. Yeah, if you want to get properly certified, there is like Paraglide Canada or something.
But you don't have to be certified.
No, not technically.
That's crazy. That seems absolutely bonkers to me.
Yeah, lots of people do it like that, but they just don't get like if you go to like a flying zone or like a flying site, oftentimes like people who haven't done a course will kind of get shunned. Yeah, so I just did it. Plus I wanted to learn the right way. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Like eventually you're like 10,000 feet in the air and you don't want to not know how to do it. So yeah, did that. Spent the whole summer doing it. Ended up trying to like getting all into it. It was really fun.
At the same time as you were doing the fire stuff?
No, I only did fire last year.
That's right.
summer.
2 years ago, yeah.
Before that, like through COVID, I didn't work. Like I was able to support myself pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got into paragliding.
Yeah, so I got into paragliding.
Sick.
It was amazing. It's such a cool sport. It's like the slow drip of adrenaline while you're doing it. Like it's pretty relaxed and like really methodical to catch like a thermal. It's just like you're really flying. I don't know, you're really feeling it.
Have you had any like super holy shit moments up there?
Yeah, my wings collapsed one time. Like
Whoa.
it collapsed like basically halfway.
Because the ropes got
No,
tangled.
it was
or
just
something?
really turbulent air. So like it was a hot day and like crazy like really punchy thermals, like hot air moving up really fast, and like it is just like a floppy piece of fabric that you're flying under, and it got like a little bit messed up. And
it's so confidence inspiring.
I don't know. It's you'd be surprised. You do feel confident once you're flying. Like
Right.
if you have some energy on the wing, it's all
So
good.
what happened then?
I don't know. I was just bouncing around. Like it happened before I even realized. I just like basically half the wing collapsed and I fell for like 20 feet maybe, and then it reinflated.
Oh.
Like they're built to reinflate.
Oh, so it wasn't like
No, I didn't fall to the ground.
you're not doing like spinning out of control or
No,
whatever like
no.
that. It was just more of a oh Jesus.
Yeah, that can be done. Like if you get caught up in the ropes and shit, then you have to pull your reserve parachute. But everyone hopes to never have that happen.
Have you done like skydiving or any of that? Like,
No, I haven't.
is that on the list now too?
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like if I did do it, I'd probably really get into it. But maybe it's not a good idea to get into that.
Maybe that'll be next year's summer project. So it seems like every summer you find something new. To
I
learn.
know. I keep on telling myself like I have everything I need now, but I keep on.
It's wrong. You're gonna find another sport. That's the shitty thing about like all of these sports. Is like I want to play them all and I want to have the gear for all of them. But every new sport you get into is like $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the sport, right? Like I need a new mountain bike, or I want to go wake surfing. Not wake surfing. Kiteboarding.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty popular these days.
Right, and they got it like down in the Squamish zone is one of the like probably best zones in Canada for it because the wind comes right up the house sound there. Whether you gotta go buy a board, you gotta buy your wing, your rigging. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's like I'd like to do all this stuff, and then it's like, man, then I gotta dedicate all this time to this new sport when I don't give all my other sports the same attention. It's frustrating.
It's a freeing feeling though when you just become content with what you have.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you feel content with what you have most of the time? You're pretty mellow, dude. Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty mellow.
do you like? I know you're a lot of a go with the flow kind of guy, but are you like content with a lot of things, or maybe that's the wrong question? Are there things that you're unhappy with, or like I need to change something, or I want to do something else, like in life? And are you that kind of guy when you're like you're not down with something, and you make a change, or you just move on?
Yeah.
Did that make any sense?
Yeah, I definitely like try to like if there is something wrong in my life, I definitely will face it head on. Like I hate having the monkey on my back, you know.
Yeah.
But like right now, the monkey on my back, I guess, is like figuring out what to do after ski career, because obviously there's an end to it, an end to everyone's career. But
it's good you're thinking about that already.
Yeah,
We were talking about that before the show when I was talking about Cole being on the show. There's a guy who's like, congrats to Cole, who just won his breakout
Discovery of the Year.
So if you listen to the podcast, I'll put this one out after Cole's. And if you listen to his podcast, he talks about, he wrote down 5 goals. Does he ever talk to you about his goal setting and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, we talked about that quite a bit.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
man. Like for a kid,
he's driven,
who just reached out of his 5 goals, he just achieved number 5, which was breakout skier of the year. And to have that kind of vision, that goal setting, and like he's like I said, he just won back breakout skier. This is his breakout season, right? His rookie season, but he's already thinking beyond skiing into other venues, right?
Yeah.
Like in his mind, he's already completed all his goals for his ski career, and he's already planning shit like 10 years down the road. Like, it was really fascinating to hear him talk about that stuff. And I like that you guys have talked about that as well. I think that's something that's really, really important, is to be aware and to utilize what you guys have. You know, you guys, like you said, you've, in the last 3 years since you were here, you've become like, people call you this all the time, best skier in the world.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, right. But like, you know,
big statement.
You've heard it a lot of times, and you keep winning these awards that kind of back it up, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But now you're kind of established. You're like one of those people that in the industry, like, I can actually make a living just skiing, right? Like you're one of the very fortunate few that is able to do that. And when you do that, and you're traveling around a lot of times your expenses are paid, like you get paid quite well, and your expenses are kind of low, and you got this big chunks of cash, right? So it's nice to hear people start to think more about, okay, what am I going to do with this stuff? Right? Like we were talking off, like when we were making dinner just now, I'm like, you know, find the people that have been in your same boat and investigate the people that didn't do the right, for the lack of a better term, the right thing, or maybe didn't maximize their money or take advantage of what they have to kind of push you forward, and like learn about that. So it's really nice to hear like the younger generation of skiers being very aware of what they have and how to utilize it to you know, make sure that they're set up for the future.
Yeah, totally. Because the reality of it is that it's not going to last forever.
Right.
The whole professional skiing thing.
Right. You could always go back to roofing.
Hell no.
Firefighting.
I don't think I can.
No, firefighting. What interests you?
Beyond skiing.
Yeah.
Well, I think I am someone that wants to, like, I work with my hands. I can't sit in the office or in a classroom. I'm like, just have terrible focus in that regard. Like I need to be outside doing things, problem solving. So like, yeah, working in a trade, I don't mind working in the trades. I think I could like spend my life. If I were to do something like that, then I'd want to own my own business. But yeah, honestly, man, I gotta think more about it. Like I gotta focus in on exactly what I'm trying to do with this.
Right, you got Cedar. She's becoming more and more. She's inserting herself into these podcasts a little bit more. There you go,
Good
bud.
girl.
All right. That's cool.
I did come up pretty quick in the ski scene, so it was like I'm still even like just like establishing my brand. Excuse me, establishing my brand, like exactly like how I want to portray myself. Like now that I have like a platform and people watching me.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So like, how has that whole process been over? Like, if you can distill it down into kind of just, you know, like a feeling or an experience, because you went from, so when are they sending the plane, kind of young and naive, to now you're Sam Kuch. You know what I mean? You're a veteran on the scene. You're one of the big names in skiing now. And what's that transition been like for you? Like, has it been easy for you? Did you find any like struggles with that in how you see yourself or like your identity? You know, you're like this Nelson kid, and now you're like this international skiing superstar.
Well, it's definitely, it's changed like the way people see me. Like everyone knows me as a skier now rather than just Sam. But I don't know, I've been taking it all pretty easy, I guess. Like you said, I'm pretty laid back, so it's like I get excited and I'm pumped about where I'm at, but like also I'm like, all my friends at home just treat me treat me the same.
Treat
like
the same,
nobody's
yeah. When you're out on the road and stuff, and you're doing these tours and stuff, you get a lot of attention, right? Some of it's good, some of it's kind of weird, right? Is the weird attention like? Do you get a lot of weird attention, or do you have any stories of like creeps?
Creeps? I wouldn't say I have any creeps.
Or just like weird girls over in the corner staring at you and just feel that energy.
Sometimes the odd girl staring at me. No, I don't know. I'm like, I harbor good relationships. I'm good at that. Like I think people like me, and so yeah, most of the time like it's been pretty smooth. Like people I find just want to help me, which I'm super grateful for. Versus like people are willing to stick their necks out for me.
That's cool, and like, which is great, which is kind of the opposite of what I'm going for, because conflict sells papers and drama creates interesting content, but like
stir the pot.
Yeah, right. There's no whatever, I'm not gonna stir the pot. Well, that's cool. Like it's neat that like people harbor relationships, and like you said, I'm sure you keep the people around that you're like, okay, I'm down with this person, and the ones that aren't, you can spread away. But do you feel like have you noticed or had any experiences where people are coming just because they feel like they want something from you, they want to like capitalize off you?
Yeah, surely, but I don't know, I don't think I'm that big yet. Like no one's like coming after me for my money. Cause
no, I don't mean like trying to blackmail you, but I mean like within the industry itself. Maybe you gotten to the point where maybe they're asking a bit too much of you, or they expect you to be doing something because you're now a product or like a commodity versus just Sam the skier, because now you're that name that people are going to be using, name and face that companies are going to be using you to market their product, right? So it could get to a point where maybe now you're just this commodity, or you're no longer Sam, but you're like a marketing tool. Right. Where people then might step over the bounds from Sam to like, well, you need to do this, or like expect more of you. Yeah, I guess that's where just having like a strong personal brand comes in. And I think my personal brand is just like kind of like a kind, humble dude. And I feel like that's not the type of person that people want to take advantage of. And like as far as like doing things for my sponsors and stuff, like going out on photo shoots that are planned by them, or just like any brand things, like I never feel like they're pushing me too hard at this point. That's good. Yeah, it's great. And I'm always keen to get out. I want to focus on the word brand too, because that's interesting. Like I mentioned, we probably should have recorded what we were talking about before, but like with you brought up the word brand a few times, and that's really smart. Now, is that something that you've kind of were like, I need to figure out what my brand is? Because I told you before, I'm like, you kind of have a style or a brand, and then you brought it up a couple times. You look at Sam and like, oh, that's Sam's style, right? You don't really mix it up too much, but it's like who you are. It's what people expect, and you've chosen to make yourself the person who you already are. Easygoing, kind of humble, nice guy. Like, what made you decide that was going to be a brand? And how you present yourself rather than just you being you, because there's a bit of a separation too, right? Well, it started with just me being me, obviously. Yeah. And then like as I talked more with people who are in the industry and athletes, like they definitely stressed like to have your own authentic brand, because that's kind of like that's what makes something you appealing. Yeah, something people can count on, something they can expect, something that's consistent. Yeah. So I had like kind of some issues with that, and I was like, fuck, what is my brand? Like nobody really knows who I am. Even after like 2 years in like MSP movies and stuff, like people still didn't like actually like probably even heard me talk or anything. So I was like, hey, I gotta start establishing a mystery brand. You're just this mystery guy. That's what people have said. They said I'm kind of mysterious in the whole scene, but then like I just continue to be myself. But people now know me as like we said, like just I think I have a brand, because I do things like if I do like say something or like post something, people are like, oh my god, that's so Sam. And I was like, well, I guess I do have a bit of an identity here. There we go. That thought, and that's just from me being myself, I guess. That fascinates me, because it's like you've taken who you are and like turned it into more than what you are. Do you know what I mean? Interesting. And you said you have an agent now as well? Yeah. Jameson, Keegan, Superheroes. So he's got a lot of really big names. Has he been helpful in kind of that path for you? Yeah, he has. He's definitely given me, he knows the industry so well. He used to be a rep for the team manager for Red Bull, and then decided to start his own agency, and started with Sean Pettit and built his career into what it was, and is amazing. And yeah, the guy knows
all the ins and outs of skiing, and he was one of the ones that was kind of stressing pushing your own personal brand. And yeah, he's been great. He's just like a great person to talk to. And
kind of like a
shop
agent/mentor, kind of that sort of thing.
Yeah, and super friendly. I only met him because I signed with him like right when COVID started, basically.
Yeah,
like kind of bad timing. And so I never actually got to meet him until just the other day when I was down in Seattle.
Oh, really? That was the first time you met with him when you were down in Seattle?
That's the first time we met in person. We'd FaceTimed and all that before, but it's nice to see, like, especially if it's someone that you're like in business with, it's nice to meet them personally and actually like become friends.
Yeah, go out for a dinner and see if this person is an asshole to your waiter or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh no.
No, Jameson's great. He's like my like team managers like of my sponsors and stuff. Like they're saying, like they sometimes deal with agents that can be such headaches or like just like total squeaky doors, but they say Jameson is like so professional and that's someone who I'm super happy to have like in my corner here.
How'd you get linked up with him? Was it something that you had actively thought about? Maybe I need an agent, or is it something that just came to you?
Something just came to me. Like it was right after I won Powder Awards. I won the Best Males award there, and
was that the last year that they had them?
That was the last year.
You won the last Best Male Skier.
The Best Male Skier forever.
Forever.
Yeah, but no, it was actually who introduced me. It was Ralphie, photographer Brian Ralph. He's a Nelson photographer, and he's been actually like one of the biggest forces behind like my success lately. And yeah, he's like the first person to like introduce me to the scene, and then introduced me to Jameson because he knows JMO through like Red Bull and I don't know, just years being in the industry. And yeah, he kind of gave me the bump towards Jameson, and I don't think Jameson really had openings at that point. Like he wasn't looking for a new athlete, but then like after a while and maybe like a bit of digging, he was like, okay, let's work something out.
I kind of if I don't, someone else is going to.
Yeah, and actually there was another agent looking at like coming after me as well, like from France. Yeah, so they're both kind of weighing into me, and I was super unsure about which route I was going to take, or if I even wanted an agent.
Did you even know exactly? Did you even know what to expect? And like
no, not at all. Like I wasn't sure what they could do for me, but I was super keen on getting one just for the sake of like them helping negotiate contracts and stuff, because I'm like not one to put a number on my own head. If I do, then I'm probably lowball.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same with the podcast. If you're a potential sponsor, don't listen to this. But no, I've undervalued myself in the past.
Yeah, totally.
And I've been super grateful for, a lot of the partnerships and everything throughout this whole 9-year process. But I got to a point where I was like, wow. I was telling people, earlier on in the days, and I'm like, that's how much? Dude, they're like, you should ask for way more than that. Like, really? Like,
yeah,
I had no idea, and that just came down to like having no idea what anything was really worth. Like when I started, people were like, most people when I started were like, what's a podcast?
Yeah, I
didn't even know like what the fuck's a podcast.
Yeah,
right. So when people the people that listen don't know about it, and you're trying to convince people to give you money for it, they're like, what is this worth? Right. So it's a matter of like kind of figuring out your value. So having someone that knows based on experience, they can do that for you, and it just clears your head, man.
Totally clears your head, takes weight off the back, and then like also like kind of voids possibilities of like burning bridges and stuff. Like if someone else is
it's not personal,
you, then
it's hey, it's him.
And then you can focus. Like I love it because now I can focus like fully on just my personal relationship with my sponsors, and like I don't get Jameson to like plan my trips or anything. Like that's all between me and my sponsors. But just when it comes to things like contracts and
that's probably better.
Nitty-gritty.
It's probably better too, because you cut out that potential animosity.
Yeah.
So you can just have this great relationship with them. Let's go ski up.
Yeah. So I'm grateful to have an agent for that, and I feel like now that we've met in person, and we're gonna start doing some cool things. I think.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, he's negotiating some contracts right now. Won't tell you what it is right now because none of it's solid yet.
That's fair.
But yeah, I've got him.
Even though everyone listening is like, "Oh, come on."
Maybe you'll know when you know. But yeah, he's working hard on that, which is great. And then I'm just doing gonna start filming with Skier Cole a bunch next year.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about that. And are you getting back together with CK9 guys?
Yeah, back with CK9.
So the CK9, cleaned house.
Yeah, they won. What was it? Best short, best editing,
Best female.
best female.
It was Tatum's movie.
Was there one more? Or that was it.
At least 3. So like,
yeah, epic.
There's a tight little crew, kind of interspersed crew that won like a huge portion of the awards. The Blank got movie of the year, your May Scale of the year, CK9, Tatum, and you're all kind of like Cole breakout, right? So CK9's got it cornered.
Oh yeah,
looks like Arcteryx got it cornered at the moment right now too.
Yeah. There's a pretty stacked team right now.
They're kind of moving into they kind of went to like, I don't know how to describe it, but they're really coming on strong with the free riding.
Yeah,
kind of component.
Yeah,
of it
Arcteryx
now.
is what was once kind of like a dad techie company is becoming like really.
As you were telling me, like with the jackets and stuff, even you were telling them like, can you make this a little more steezy, like a little bigger?
Yeah, I'll just start by saying like just super grateful to be on Arcteryx. Like because they're budding so much right now. They're blowing up. There's like tons of opportunity, like financial opportunities and stuff with them, and then at the same time, they're just like they're kind of pushing in a new direction. So they took me on, which is probably not something they would have done like with a skier like me like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just kind of looking to expand their brand a bit and like kind of speak to more like younger people and a little more free ride, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So they brought me on, and then we'd have like all the time we have like design meetings and stuff where the athletes get to, because we're the ones using the gear so much, like we get to put in our 2 cents on like what we'd like to see change. Mm-hmm. Or what we enjoy seeing now. Yeah. And it gave me a bunch of opportunities to kind of drop what I was looking for, and they listen. Like Arcteryx their new kits this year look sick.
Did they incorporate a lot of your ideas or some of them?
Yeah, I'm not sure how direct my my desires were on that, but like definitely like they come up with a couple of new jackets. They're like a little bit longer, a little more steezy.
You're not just the straight up Arcteryx tech stuff that people are familiar with, right?
Yeah. I also size up. I rock XL, which isn't the regular model sizes that they run.
Right. Yeah, like I got Arcteryx did some stuff with us like in my first season, mm-hmm. and I ended up getting a suit. I think it was like larger, extra large or something like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it still wasn't big.
Yeah.
You know?
It's really nice gear. I love it. Like you can like feel the quality when you put it on. Mm-hmm. It's like just a little bit different than the rest.
And you're with Head again for this season coming up?
Yeah, I'm with Head. My contract's up on 2022.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'm another company I'm grateful to be with. Like James Heim is my team manager, and he's been through, pretty much came up the same way I did. So like he's like fully there, like behind us all. Mm-hmm. Like he's been helping out Cole and I a whole bunch.
Yeah, that's what Cole was talking about too, which is awesome. Like you said, it's so much better when there's a guy who knows it.
Oh yeah, especially been on both sides of it.
Yeah, that's great.
He knows what's fair, and he knows kind of exactly where the scene's at right now, and yeah.
Any plans for the winter? Any solid plans yet?
Nothing super solid. I'll be down in Jackson for the Arcteryx Academy. So Arcteryx puts on a backcountry academy every year. Mm-hmm. They didn't get to do it last year, but they do it in Jackson, and basically like hire guides and people can come around. There's like a bunch of different clinics that get put on, like different backcountry mountaineering clinics and stuff. And a new one for this year, what we're gonna do is like a steeps and drops clinic that kind of it'll incorporate Cole and I a little bit easier. Maybe Tatum will be down there hopefully. Mm-hmm. And we'll just take people out touring and kind of focus more on skiing steeps and like how to land drops and things like that.
CMH did something like that as well. When they're a sponsor of the show, we were talking to Nick, and he's like, "Yeah, I've done a few of those."
Yeah, it's cool.
We were dropping hints to try and get it to take us along.
Nice, yeah, that'd be great.
Maybe we should get you on the list too.
Yeah, I would. I've done it before. There's a festival at Whitewater called Cold Smoke, and they used to do a steeps and drops clinic. Was
it a film festival?
There's films. It's kind of just like a winter festival, so like ski films, lots of clinics, like I said, and then like some contests as well, like a big randonnée race, and then keep me out of those skin suits. But what was I talking about? Yeah, a couple contests, shit like that. It's a fun festival. It's a good good skiing
And then just
vibes.
basically play it by ear, like just see where it goes, have a loose plan, and see what happens next. See where we're going next. See who calls me to go someplace. That kind of.
Oh yeah, as far as winter, yeah, we'll see. Like, maybe be in Europe at some point, and then.
Have you been to Japan?
I've been to Japan. Yeah.
Have you?
Went not last year, but the year before.
Oh wait, I did know that because you're on the cover. You're on the
yeah
the intro video for our YouTube channel. Jeffy gave us some of the footage of it's you.
Yeah.
It's you skiing.
Yeah, it was an epic trip. That's fun. Japan's cool.
It's super cool.
Yeah, we didn't nail the snow on that trip.
Oh, that's right. I did hear about that trip. You guys got skunked, didn't you?
Yeah, we got a couple pow days, but it was just like a record low year in Japan, and yeah, nothing too crazy as far as it's not your classic like deep pow Japan stuff. But it's cool because like it was really aesthetic there because like there's low enough snow that the bamboo shoots were sticking out and they're kind of like waving in the wind, and it was really pretty.
That's right. Like, yeah, it's funny the things I don't remember when my brain is mush.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's gonna, as soon as they open, if there's gonna be like another like full on just wave.
I imagine
every pro skier and their dog showing up, because it was like that for a few years, you know. So it's always busy, but then there's those years where it's like, oh my god, everyone is here.
Yeah, I was talking to I have a Japanese buddy, and he's been in Canada for a long time, but he went back to Japan for a little bit during COVID, and then back to Canada, and he was saying it was like the locals are stoked on the lack of tourism right now. Like, I think they're doing fine.
Yeah, happy. No, I was talking to my friend Jackie. And I was like, hey, man, there's no gaijins.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no white people here skiing. Yeah. Not that white people are wrong. But
yeah, I feel like
all the North Americans.
Feeling I had when I was there, like even if I was being, like I was, because they're so based around their like being polite and like their traditions, basically. And I was like trying to follow all the traditions. But like no matter what I would do, like if I was in a restaurant or something, like I always just felt like a big cumbersome white dude that was just like being disrespectful in one way or the other, just
unaware, just like, am I doing something I'm not supposed to do? Are they looking at me with disdain?
Yeah, exactly. Such different cultures we have.
Do they appreciate me here? I find that I don't know, they're that culture specifically, I find are pretty open. Like everyone that's ever in Japan that speaks even a little bit of English, they're going to try and speak English to you.
Yeah.
Whereas here, if someone speaks a little bit of Japanese, maybe they will, maybe they don't. But I find that was there more than anywhere I've been, where people are like, "Oh, are you from Canada?" I'm like, yeah, I am. Oh, Canada. I'm from Japan. I'm like, oh, cool. Right on. Right. Just saying whatever words they want, the simple words they know. It's pretty awesome. I met this old man on a bus once, coming in Kyoto. I was after my ski trip. I went to a little traveling, and he had some pretty decent English, and he was telling me he used to do business like sales, some businessman, and he brought me to this tiny little neighborhood corner in the middle of nowhere, Kyoto, with two of his old friends in this little bar shack room with a tabletop and like 4 bottles of booze behind it.
Nice.
Some snacks, and he got me wasted. Absolutely wasted in the middle of the day.
Nice.
With all this Japanese guys, and they just wanted to like ask me questions and practice their English. And
cool, that's fun.
It was sweet. I'm really looking forward to going traveling again.
Yeah, I was just thinking as you were saying that, like we're so fortunate to speak English. Like everyone speaks English.
Everybody.
English is so universal, and like if you ever go into a place where you don't speak that language, or like whatever language you're in that country for, like you're like so lost, like you become so dumb.
I know.
So I can only imagine being someone from another country that doesn't speak English, that has to learn just to be able to get by in like the rest of the world.
I know. It's one of my life goals to have another language. I got a bit of French.
Yeah, I got a bit of French too.
It's just a matter of practice.
Yeah.
That I don't do.
Yeah, neither do I. I did French immersion for a couple of years.
Oh, did you? But now there's Google Translate.
Yeah.
It's spectacular.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and it actually speaks it out for you as well. Like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, with all the apps we have on the iPhones, like, why did we even go to school?
Right?
Yeah, everything's at the tip of the finger.
Let's just go skiing. Are you going to tour to the trampoline tent tomorrow down in Squamish?
No, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Are you?
Yeah, going home.
And back to the rain bomb, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, the rain bomb.
Moisture bomb, or whatever they're calling it.
Oh yeah, it's driving in the rain, dude. Every time I come out this way from Nelson, like it's about probably like a 9-hour drive, which is a bit.
You do it like 8 times a year, don't you?
Yeah, makes it. That's why I'm gonna move here in the spring, especially in the springtime. I spend so much time out here and often bouncing back and forth, And like, I guess in the grand scheme of things, 8 hours isn't that bad. But
you catch up
it gets
on some podcasts.
Yeah. If you listen to a lot of low pressure. No, it's just exhausting. And as I was saying, like driving here, I usually go through Vancouver first, and pretty much every time, like clockwork, like I end up in Vancouver.
Rush hour.
It's pouring rain. It's rush hour. I'm tired. I'm grumpy, and everyone just has their high beams on. So I just like fucking hate the drive, especially once I get onto the Sea to Sky.
Is it not easier to go up like Kamloops, like through the Okanagan and then down? I figure is it longer? It's
pretty much like the difference is if I was going to Pemby, then I'd go that way. Like I'm gonna drive through over the Duffy and that way home. But if you're going to Whistler, like it's like, I don't know, 20-minute difference. Depends on snow conditions too. Like
I'd avoid driving through the city.
Yeah, I hate it. I'm getting.
How did it feel?
The novelty of driving is worn off so hard.
Right. And you said, you said you're not much of a city guy. How did you find when you were in Seattle? Do you like going to new cities and experiencing them?
I really like Seattle. I like American cities. I think like there's so much more culture, it feels like.
Than Canada?
Yeah.
Just different?
Just different. Like, yeah, they just feel bigger, maybe faster.
Have their own identities.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Interesting. They have their own brand.
Yeah, they have. Each city has its own brand. No, I really like Seattle. That's a cool city.
Yeah, isn't it sweet?
And then like when I was there with Jameson, like he's been a local there for so long, and he showed us around. He like took us to some of his favorite record stores. He's a big music guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he toured Cole and I around. They went to a Seahawks game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you're saying he had to tell you what was going on.
Yeah. I was not a football guy. I was just like overwhelmed by the energy in there. It's crazy. So loud.
Seattle had I think it's been over. I think they've been beaten by they got like the world record for loudest stadium.
Yeah,
and that's their thing is like whenever the other team has the ball, so when their defense is on the field and the other team has the ball, the quarterback has to yell instructions and like make changes or whatever call plays, so the whole stadium just gets fucking insanely loud.
Yeah,
and it messes them up. Sometimes they can't hear.
Yeah, you just yell just one note.
Yeah,
just losing your voice out of those games.
That's wild. I can't wait. The BC just announced that you can have full capacity for like hockey games and stuff last week.
That's funny that happened the day after the film festival.
Yeah, it was last week where they announced it for coming
right, because it's coming in on Monday, right?
Yeah, whatever. I think we did all right though. The only night I think we could have used more seats was for the all girls night. That sold out real fast.
Yeah, right.
Caleb's movie was awesome. Alex Armstrong's movie was awesome.
Yeah, all those movies they're great.
Jess Camara's movie, the Learning to Drown film.
Yeah, that one was
4 awards.
Tearjerker. Yeah, she's totally sweet too.
That was good.
Yeah, she's badass. Yeah. I didn't know much about Jess Camara before.
No, she's super badass.
Yeah,
kind of intimidating.
Yeah, it makes my career look like.
Well, just be happy that you didn't have to slam the shit out of yourself in order to get where you are, right? Like that's a good thing.
I'll be slamming, but it's all in POW.
Exactly right.
That's what I was saying yesterday to Cole. I was like, I forget what we were talking about. It's like ski design or something, and I was like, yeah, but and either way, like we don't ski bad snow.
Right. I remember
making a deal with myself to not. I remember
skiing with Heimer one day on like Crystal Chair, and it was like a not bulletproof, but it was just a mountain shred day kind of thing. Hadn't snowed in a while. And he's like, oh man, my legs are killing me. I'm like, why? He's like, I haven't skied anything but POW for 2 months. And I was like, fuck off, man.
It's tough out there, man.
And I saw him boost this little side hit and he ate shit. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not because I was happy he ate shit, but I was like, he's human.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, cool. I feel better about myself when skiing with guys like him. You see, like, even then before Instagram made things like that worse, it was like, you'd never see, unless it was a crash reel, you never see where it really goes down. You see the best of the best.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, he is a human.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely slams that go down.
That's true. Sam Kuch is an actual human. Even though people think you're a crazy skiing cyborg that does wacky shit.
Did you see that Bale? Did you watch the MSP movie? Or you probably haven't watched all of it.
I haven't seen MSP yet.
Did you see Here Goes?
I haven't seen either of them yet, actually, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I got a wicked slam in there.
All right, let's watch it after this.
Yeah, I can show you. Well, I got it on the iPhone.
All right, let's watch it now. Well, it's time to end the podcast now, anyways.
Yeah.
We rambled on for a while.
I gotta go to bed, man.
Yeah. I gotta edit some shit tonight. We'll see.
Nice.
But I'm glad IF3's over. It was fun. I'm stoked you came out for it. I'm glad you were like, in my mind, I wasn't thinking to do another one. You're like, let's do another one. I'm like, Yes. All right, I'm down.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love talking to you.
You're always welcome on the mic, my friend.
Cheers, buddy.
Nice to see you, bud.
Yeah, you too, Mark.
All right, we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
You've been listening to the Low Pressure Podcast, the podcast for skiers. This has been a Redmark Media production.